Hello everyone, welcome to episode 5 of the ATLAMC Minecraft Survival Let's Play. In the last episode we built up this iron farm, and I've been spending a lot of time AFKing at it. And I've got quite a bit of iron already. That's from about 24 hours of AFKing while I've been at work and sleeping. And in between episodes I've been really busy. I went to the End City Islands and did some end busting, and I got myself some new elytras. Got myself a ton of shulker shells. And I got all my armor back from when I died from the first time going to the End City Islands. I've also been going to the Nether and fighting wither skeletons to try to get wither skulls, but I haven't had any luck yet. In this episode, I want to make 2 farms, the first of which being an egg farm. And that's the whole egg farm. All you have to do is take a bunch of chickens and put them on top of a bunch of hoppers and put those hoppers into chests, and you have an egg farm. And moving on, the next thing I'm going to make in this video is I want to make a wither rose farm. But to do that, I still need to get my wither skulls. So let's head to the Nether and battle some wither skeletons. So that took me about 2 hours getting those 3 wither skulls. I think at this point I have about 100 wither skeletons. Yep, 100 wither skeletons exactly it took me to get all 3 of those wither skulls. But in this shulker box is everything that I need to make the wither rose farm. But we're not going to make the wither rose farm just yet because I still need to get a lot more eggs because they're a very important part of this design of wither rose farm. While we're waiting for our egg farm to produce more eggs, why don't we take some time and try to make Kyoshi Settlement look a little bit nicer. So I think it's about time we do a time lapse. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. It is several hours later. I did a lot of work. I mob proofed the nether portals so that when I release the villagers into the area, they're not able to just walk through into the nether portal and the zombie pigmen can't come out. And I worked on the roads in the area. So now let's see how many eggs our egg farm has produced. Alright, so we got a double chest of eggs so far. I want more eggs than that still, so I think I'm going to expand the storage and leave this going overnight. And while I was working on this, I discovered something that made me very happy. The iron farm started working while I'm away from spawn. Because I created this iron farm within the spawn chunks, that means it should be loaded at all times. In the last episode, I thought I was having issues with it not being loaded at all times, but it seems to be working now. I don't know why, but I'm not complaining. Now I should just need to do an overnight AFK session and we should be good to go for the farm tomorrow. Alright, so it's the next morning and I woke up to find that I had enough eggs to fill up 5 shulker boxes. I think this amount of eggs will do. So first we want to head over to the end dimension. Next we want to dig a hole that goes underneath our end portal to home. Next you want to find the center point of this bedrock platform here, and it's right here and here. And I'll look up. So this block should be right in the center. Next you want to make this center block into a T shape by getting rid of these 3 blocks and putting in some obsidian into that space. We use obsidian because of how resistant it is to explosions, so that when the wither spawns, its initial explosion won't break it and it won't be set free. This farm in its simplest form can be called complete right now. All you need to do is make sure that there's a 2 block height, so when you do throw some eggs down here and chickens spawn in, they're not going to be able to get out. But that's the whole idea of the farm. You want to get as many chickens down there as possible, and then we use these splash potions of poison to poison all the chickens so that they're 1 hit away from death. So when you spawn in the wither, it will kill all of them, and that will turn all of the chickens into wither roses, because when a wither kills a mob, it turns that mob into a wither rose. In case you're curious, this is the progression to make this potion. You need nether wart, spider eye, then gunpowder to make it a splash potion. Now, I don't want to leave this farm in its simplest form. I want to use some redstone to make it a little bit easier to use. So I'm going to go and do some of that, and I'll bring you back in and show you how it's done. Okay, so I've built 4 of my automatic dispenser clocks, and I'm going to build the last one with you on camera. So you can look at it right here. So this is our dispenser, and we have the comparator detecting when an item comes into the dispenser, and it is powering this block, and then this redstone line will power the comparator and put it into a clock, and then this redstone line will power this block, which will in turn power the dispenser and dispensing our eggs. Now let's build one together on camera. We got our dispenser going into the comparator, to the repeater, to the block, to the redstone dust, to the block, and that is it. Now once you put anything in here, it'll just keep spitting it out. Now we just need to set up our hopper lines feeding the dispensers, and this farm is pretty much ready. Okay, so we have our 4 hopper lines in. Now we just need to set up our shulker deployment stations. Okay, to make the shulker deployment station, we want to actually dig away that 1 hopper, and we want to put a shulker in its place, an empty shulker, and then we want to put a hopper on top of that, and another hopper going into that one. And that is as simple as these are going to be. The reason that I'm putting a shulker box in the middle of the hopper line is so that whenever we put our shulkers full of eggs on top of these hoppers and they're empty and we break them, they're going to go into the hoppers and then they're just going to get stuck into this hopper, because you cannot put a shulker box inside of another shulker box. And that's this entire farm complete. Now all we have to do is put the eggs in place and then poison the chickens, summon the wither, and we should have wither roses. So now all the shulker boxes have emptied, so when I break them, they're still gonna, for the most part, fall into the hoppers. But because I put the shulker box underneath the first hopper, you can just go and grab them from here. This way they don't get spat out here and exploded by the wither. Would you look at all those chickens? Okay, so the next thing we need to do is poison all the chickens and then summon the wither. Okay, so I might have made a slight miscalculation on how many chickens there would be, and they're kind of blocking me being able to place my wither skeleton skulls. Oh no, I can't move. Oh, that was scary. I thought I was gonna die. Alright, as you can see, the wither is trapped in the bedrock, and a lot of those chickens turned into wither roses. Now I'm just gonna take out the wither because he's noisy, and that's the farm. Big bonus of the farm is we also get our first nether star, so we're going to be making our first beacon soon. So after running the farm once, we got what looks to be 3.5 stacks of wither roses. Now you're able to scale how much wither roses you get by how many shulker boxes you put down. So if I were to put 8 shulker boxes, I'd maybe get 6 stacks, maybe? I'm not entirely sure, but anyways, let's get these wither roses back to the overworld. Okay, and now let's just grab what we need to make our first beacon. If you're new to Minecraft, beacons are kind of one of the most useful items in the game apart from elytras. You just need to build a little platform out of certain types of materials to place the beacon on, and then you'll get a beacon beam coming out. And then you'll get a beacon beam coming out from the beacon, and you'll be able to give yourself certain potion effects. But in order to get the full effect of a beacon, you need to make a big beacon platform using a lot of valuable resources, and then you'll put it down on top, get your beacon beam, and you'll be able to get tier 2 level ups. So the types of resources you can build a beacon pyramid out of are iron, gold, diamonds, emeralds, and netherite. That's why I'm so happy I made that iron farm in the last episode. So the effect that I gave this beacon right now is called Haste 2, and I think it's the most useful beacon effect by far. Having Haste 2 allows you to instantly mine blocks as long as you're using a pickaxe with Efficiency 5. This is so useful for saving tons of time digging out holes in Minecraft. It's also a great way to find tons of resources really fast. But this isn't where I want to put my beacon right now. I want my beacon down here at Y11. I put it down here at Y11 so I could find all of those great resources. I'm just going to go and use my 6 to 8 levels to make sure I have a few Efficiency 5 pickaxes so I can effectively clear out this area. Okay, and after going through 2 of my pickaxes, I've gotten a pretty good amount of materials. I've gotten 25 diamonds, I've gotten 52 gold, a bunch of redstone, a bunch of coal, and most importantly to me right now, I've gotten a lot of stone. I'm going to be using a lot of stone in an upcoming build, and I'm really needing to get a lot of it as soon as possible. And the last thing I want to talk about in this video is the wither rose. What is the wither rose, and why did I make a farm to collect wither roses? Well, the wither rose is a flower that you can plant on the ground that does damage to whatever goes on top of it. So you can use this in a lot of farms to kill the mobs, or you can use it for decoration. This is where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like and consider subscribing. See you next time.